Here we are again, Rene.
Yes.
We are still here, and I want to welcome you.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
I appreciate that.
Yes, welcome.
All right. I feel like you are grabbing a hold of this episode. So
I
you have
am.
something in mind that we're talking about.
I don't.
You don't?
No, but I bet you do.
I do.
Okay.
Well,
What is it?
loosely I do. I have a thought, a journal entry that I recently wrote and I talked to you about, and it was a deep threaded thing that I saw. So I thought we could talk about that today. We can kind of unpack it, all of us together.
All right. Let's
Do you know what I'm going to talk about?
Nope.
I mean, I shared it with you.
I know. There's been a few that you've shared.
All right.
I don't
So
recall which one it is.
this one, and I feel like
It's probably something to do with me and my mental loops that I seem to be stuck in
no.
frequently.
Unfortunately, Bruce, I
Or
think
is
a
it-
lot
is
about
it
me.
about you?
It's about
Wow.
me. But
Okay.
I mean, you are connected to it.
Of course.
All right. So this belief I've had a lot of my life, and I've known it, but I didn't quite know how it all played out and my underlying patterns and behaviors.
Okay.
And it is I don't want to just be a chiropractor's wife.
All right.
You remember that one?
I do.
So where should I start with it? Should I start with, I guess I'll start at the point. So I was raised that I was going to be a chiropractor. I was just told my whole life, all the way growing up, that's what I was going to be. And then I decided I didn't want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, life goes on. We met.
I feel like a little context here is necessary because your whole family is.
Oh, yeah.
were
I guess everyone
chiropractors. Your
doesn't
dad
know what's
was,
going on in
like-
my mind. Yes.
Right. So it was a common thing, a common theme in your family.
Yeah, my dad
Your
was
he started part of the school.
co-founder of Life University, very active in chiropractic. I mean,
Yeah.
truly made a lasting impression on the
Mhm.
profession, for sure.
Yeah, and that's just what you do
Right.
for you and your family.
Yeah,
Like,
so that's
just
what you
what's
do.
kinda
Right,
like
that's what you're
farmers.
saying.
Like, well, of course you're going to be a farmer.
Yeah, so then when I decided I wasn't going to be a chiropractor, then I was like, I'm not just going to be a chiropractor's wife. And that belief. And so I've lived with that. And that's because of that belief, I end up making a decision to start a business that I knew, like, I felt like God was telling me not to do, but I went and did it anyway. Those are a lot of other threads that can go from that. But started a business because I was going to be like, yeah, I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to have my own business and I'm going to make my own money.
Would you say that it was you started it like God, where you said God was telling you not to do it? Or was it more, were you doing it for the wrong reason? Or is that the same thing?
I think, well, I mean, I kind of the same. I
Okay.
feel, so I feel like I heard the voice of like, don't do this.
Okay. All right.
And I
Fair
was
enough.
like, but I felt like on the outside world was saying, this is going to be great. This
see.
could be really big. And so I was like, okay, then let's do it. Because I feel like at the time I didn't know that was the underlying belief that was running, which was do this business because this can be yours. And then you can prove that, yes, you are not just this chiropractor's wife and you
Right.
could do all that. That's what was underneath. I didn't know that at the time. This is me now looking back at my life,
Okay.
assessing where I see things going. So I've seen that. And I think for me, there was I don't want to just be a chiropractor's wife, but I also think in our society, there was this other theme running as well, which is, you're a woman and you can do just as much as a man. And not that I got into the feminist movement because I didn't, but I do think there was some effect on some unconscious level of like, I have to earn my own income as well. So that I feel like, because I've already had this, if that belief was underneath there, I don't want to just be that.
Mm-hmm.
Then another belief was, well, you got to be the one you got to provide as well to show yourself you're not just that. So if there's this energy in our world that is like, as a woman, you can go out, you earn your money, don't just rely on a man. But I wasn't consciously thinking, this is what I'm doing. I'm doing these things because of this. This was just unfolding.
Right.
with me.
As you look back on it now, you see those
Yeah.
moments were done.
Yeah. And
Well, they informed you though. They like gave you information along your journey,
right.
but they're harder to see when you're exactly
Oh,
in it.
yeah. I mean,
Like, what does this mean? It means I woke up today and this is all the shit that I have to do,
right.
and let's do it. Like, that's kind of the place that you're at. Being with you, I know.
You've been with me during the whole thing.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah. So what I realized recently is I got to see how far that belief went back. I got to see how it was playing out in decisions in my life. And to the point where I reached a place, and this is me doing a whole lot of inner work. Inner work. I hate that word. I hate saying it like that because like just looking inside of myself, seeing where are my beliefs at? Where are those things that are disconnecting me from truth? Like really just healing parts of me that I need to heal. In doing that, I was able to see things. And in seeing things, I was like, wow, look how this is played out. So all the way to the point to just recently, I said to you, because, you know, as I grow, you grow. As you grow, I grow. That's been what we've been doing together. And we're not the same people that we were when we got married or that we were literally a year ago. Like we continue to keep growing together
Mm-hmm.
to the point where that I was driving the other day. I was just thinking about I've talked about this in previous podcast, how you evoke these emotions in me when I think about what I want our future to be. Like I want you to be satisfied, fulfilled, like feeling like fucking I've done it, man. Like you feel like you've reached that place of freedom that you've wanted. You love what you do. Doesn't mean it's always easy, but there's this feeling of satisfaction with what you've done in your life. So that can get me real emotional when I think about that. And I was thinking when I was driving to work the other day, I was thinking about just our future and I thought about you and I had this thought come in and I was like, you know, if the spotlight was on you and not me, I would be completely okay. And I was like, huh. I like dropped in. I was like, huh, yeah. I mean, I would be. Because all my life I felt like I'm not just going to be your wife. And as I was thinking about that and just kind of feeling into it, and the next day I kind of journaled about it, it was like the place I've reached inside of myself is it's an honor to be your wife. And if all the spotlight was on you, I'm all right with that. Like, I feel good with that. Like, I don't have to prove there's nothing I need to prove about I'm a woman or I can do this or I can do that. Like, I know my worth now. Like, having done, you know, healing the parts inside of me, really connecting back to the truth of who I am. Like, there's no outside validation that I need that I felt like I needed before to prove something about who I am. And it was just, for me, the most beautiful place to be in it's an honor to be your wife. And it's not, I'm just your wife. It's like, I get to be your wife. And that is like I'm so grateful for that. So that's like,
Me too.
so that was just a neat little, and it all came together just this past week. So it's still, I mean, I haven't got it all journaled out, but this is kind of like my raw realization that I'm sharing here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is the continuation of the other story that we had, the one where you triggered me.
Yeah.
And you're like, I just want to see you happy, or what, like our goal at the end of the year or whatever.
Right.
But I think in that, like I see that and I feel that all the time. That when you're saying that, I immediately thought about like make him a sandwich, you know,
Right.
so there's a normalcy about the role that you play as a wife and the place that you have in my life as my wife. And then contrast that by saying, I don't want to be just a chiropractor's wife. like, so there's this thing that happened, like just a chiropractor's wife. Let's just take the chiropractors out of it. Let's just
Right.
say doctor's wife or
Right.
what, like there's a certain thing that happens. Like you go to seminars and events and you see the same people that are doing the same shit. And, you know, the husband's working or whoever in your context,
Right.
again, the husband is the guy that's in practice. The wife is running shit at home. But when you see them at the seminars and when you see them, that's like, it's a wonderful life and it's glitzy and you just sit there enjoying,
Right.
you know, in the cool shadows that your husband provides, which we all know is bullshit.
Right.
That's the thing. And you were like, no, that's not for me because, and it still isn't. But when you say just a chiropractor's wife, gives it the connotation that like that's all you do. Like when that guy gets up and goes to the practice in the morning and then comes home, somehow takes you out of the closet and now you're here back
Right.
and here you are, pop-up wife. And the other 8 hours of the day, you're like somehow disappeared. Well,
Right.
obviously that's not the case. And that never would be the case. But I think for you to say that, like when I hear that, I'm like, yeah, you aren't just a chiropractor's wife. Like you're the brains and the driving force inside of our marriage and like the ability to help me keep going, doing what we
Right.
do. So it's more of a like with gratitude, I feel that. Like I
Mm-hmm.
feel how you show up for me and how you are assertive and how you handle like hard shit, like literally hard shit
Right.
that has to be done that I could do but I don't, or you know, you pick up the other end of the task that needs to be
Yeah.
done.
I think, talking about this, and I've talked about it in previous podcasts, like because I was like, it's chiropractor's wife because that's the world I grew up in,
Right.
So I want to just be the wife. And I've thought about this. I have like this whole feminine movement and all these kind of things. I've never I love being your wife. So it was never about, I didn't like that, but there was this thing in our world about, and I never was just that. I've always worked in the business on some level, but still, it's
But why
what
does it
story you make up in your mind. Like I made up a story. None of that was true. And it's like really looking at the story I made up and then the story I live by that
but
wasn't even true.
but right, and that's like the folly of all of it. Like let's say you're a police sergeant, you
Why'd you pick that for
and
me?
my wife.
Okay.
Does that make you still just a chiropractor's wife? Like no, you're a professional.
Right.
You have this whole other aspect of your life that
Right.
goes with me being married to me. You're also a police officer, you're
Right.
a mom, whatever else you might decide that you're going to be.
Right. My point I was getting to was it's the stories we make up about things
Exactly.
and that we then believe them to be true and then we live them out from that. And because
Yeah. Go ahead.
no, I was going to say because I lived in that way, thinking that way, I was really trying to be dominant. So I became much strong in my energy of things, which I think can be a really great tool. But also lately I've been seeing how the balance of softness in me as well is just as important.
So the story of you don't want to be a chiropractor's wife informed your decisions
Yes.
to do certain things,
Right.
and that the basis of that was not true to who you are. So you got to go through this long journey to work yourself back to the truth of who you are. And now you're, I don't want to say back on track again, but now you're closer to
Yes.
who you actually are instead of avoiding who you don't want to the world to look at you as. Because quite
Correct.
frankly, even if you were just a chiropractor's wife, you would look at that and say, no, I've had 2 kids. We take care, like we have grandkids. We have, I run this house. I do this. I do that.
Right.
I like, that's not even that wouldn't even be true, even if that was your only
Right.
label.
Right. Yeah, and I guess, and I'm sharing the story because I think other women in their own way and their own stories they make up. I mean, I've talked to a lot of different women who have been stay-at-home moms and raised their children, and then there's a sense of feeling like less than. That's kind of like in our world, like as like
Mm-hmm.
if it's almost like you're it. I'm not.
Well,
I
yeah.
just feel like there's this sense in our world that if I just all I did was stay home and raise our children, and took care of like the house and you and like that, that's as if it's less than.
Somehow you've settled.
Yeah, like I've settled. I feel like that's out there in our world, and I think and if you ask people, they'll be like, "Oh, that's the hardest job," but somehow those are just words, and it's not actually valued in that way because it really.
Well, I think that's purposeful. I
Yeah.
think the way that the world is set up and the way that we're functioning in it has been given to us by certain movements that want to keep us in a certain certain way, so that there's control. Like that's my feeling. Like
Yeah.
all of the stuff, all of the from women's lib to like, I personally believe everyone is equal, and I think everyone has a job to do, and there is nothing that is less than or more than,
Right.
like staying at home, raising kids, providing a healthy environment for kids, like, and also like I think it's been great, and we've been blessed to have our own business
That
where I don't
could.
have to go work for a boss,
Right.
and you don't have to go work for a boss. Maybe it would have worked out better financially, but there would be a big piece missing
Right. I mean,
in
I
our
don't.
life for, like, I wouldn't trade that at all. And I certainly don't judge people that both have jobs and their kids are like you're put here. We come here and we're given this list of shit that we can do. We have a certain I think talent and certain interests, and if we follow that, things seem to sort themselves out.
Right.
But there's no like everyone should be in business themselves.
Right.
I don't necessarily believe that, because I don't think some people can run a business
Right.
effectively or want to. Like
Some people just want to be able to do the thing they maybe learned to do and
their
not
core
run a
value
business.
is not risk isn't high on their value.
Yeah.
So that you have a job or a career or like something like that, which is fine, because we need all that shit here.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, just having the conversation is that, as I'm speaking since I'm a woman, having the value if you decide you want to stay home. But if you also want to work and, have a combination of both, or you want to work, like figure all of that is okay as long as you're following what it is that you want to do. And I think really, and have value in that, whether the value is I'm raising my children, I'm staying home, and I'm choosing not to have a career right now, or I'm choosing to have a career part-time and take care of my kids. There's nuances with all of that. If you choose to have a career and raise your kids, that's really hard. If you choose to stay home and raise your kids, that's really hard.
What happens when either one of those comes up right in the middle of what you're already doing?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Like if one of those options comes up, like you're at home, staying home as a mom, and then you're like, nope, hard stop. I want to go to school.
Right.
Or like where there's an abrupt reset.
I just think that as long as you're following and that's really the key is for each individual, for a woman to do what it is that you actually feel on the inside of you. That's where I will always go back to being connected to the truth, being connected to God, to your little own guidance system within you.
Well, how about the other people that are involved in that? Like your husband?
Well, you'd have, if I honestly said I had this desire for something, I would come to you and I would talk to you and we'd have conversation. And if you thought, I mean, maybe not. If I said, I really feel like God's guiding me in this way, this is, and we talk about everything, then you would have then you would be
I
able
would
to,
most likely say, yeah, sure, go ahead.
right.
I don't think I'm like most.
That is true. You are not.
So what happens when that happens? Like, I guess probably the question is, how do you set it up to where,
But I guess that comes down to the relationship you have with your spouse.
and
Is
how do you do that?
how do you have a good relationship with your? That's a whole different podcast.
Mm.
You're working. I mean, there are things. There
So
are.
this is more of a superficial, like the scenario you gave is the superficial that's over the top of um like realizing the importance of the story that you tell yourself
Yes.
and where that's coming from.
Yes, and I'm
So the
saying
closer
here I
you-
am now in my 50s, seeing how far that thread went back and how much it's played out in my life. I was just pointing out
Right.
something that wasn't even true, but this is the point of doing the work in yourself, or at least pulling back and having some self-awareness about what's actually happening. Everybody has unconscious beliefs that are running. Everybody does. Now, and you don't realize those are actually forming your decisions on what you're doing. And that's the whole point, is to be able to pull back enough, have self-awareness so you can actually see, oh my gosh, that's been running through the whole thing. I've had some other spin-offs that have come from that I'm not going to talk about yet because I'm still processing through, but just things that I've seen with my parents and then how that's played out. Some have taught me like, oh, I want to be in this way, and some have taught me the contrast of things. But that comes from the ability to slow down, pull back, and have some self-awareness with it.
So this is just an observational discussion.
Well, I was sharing my story of what I realized about me, and then that's where
Are there 3 easy steps that you can take to
3 easy steps. I'll always go back to
7 high points of? No, there aren't.
no. I mean, yes, correct. There are not 1, 2, 3. Here it is, and then you'll see you'll see here's where your patterns. But what it does start with is, if you don't even open the space to even consider that maybe there are unconscious beliefs, or that there's stories that are not even true that are playing out. Like if you don't even have enough self-awareness, then nothing's going to change.
How does somebody do that though? Like, well, I mean,
Well,
how
I
did
mean, I
what
think
would you
I
s-
think the ability that I've had, I think naturally I am pretty. I will shine the mirror at myself and look at myself. But I feel like I have a great relationship with you, that I can bring something to you and I can be like, tell me the truth. What do you see? I mean, we don't necessarily always see. I've hired coaches through my life that have helped me to see things. How to have self-awareness is, one, you have to just ask that question first of like,
yeah, so I was going to say you're curious
I am.
before you are shaming.
Correct.
Shaming,
Yes.
which those two for us are opposite.
Right.
Like I'm always about why did you do that? Like what are you doing? For me,
Right.
when I
Oh, you're saying that to yourself.
you are curious more than you are, I don't want to say shameful, like self-shaming or self-critical.
Yeah.
I am self-critical way more than I am curious.
Okay. Yeah.
Like when I reach the end of my self-critical, like, how could you have done that? That was so stupid. When I reach the end of that, then I would get to wonder why I did that. After the smoke settles, you are a different level of that. Like
Right.
you're like, well, once you look back, looking at why did I do this?
Right. Yeah. I'm looking for the,
Yeah.
What-
So you're
what-
more curious. So
and
be
then also
curious
willingness to take responsibility. If something happened, I'll take responsibility for, I didn't say something, I did say something, or.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think either one of us struggle with that because
Right.
that's
Yeah,
taking
yeah,
responsibility as the is like
Right.
the steroids of being
So,
critical.
so
Like I'm critical and I'm actually blaming myself for how terrible I am while I'm prosecuting and executing myself. So
do you think it's important? Do you think it has been important for you having people in your life that you can bring this to, and they can be honest with you, whether the honesty is,
yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah, Bruce, this is how you're showing up, or actually take a look at it like this.
Well, of course. It's like a board of directors
Yeah.
in a sense, or advisors, spiritual advisors, business advisors.
I mean, so the question you asked me is like, how does someone even do what I was saying? And I think it starts with, well, I'm going to be more curious than criticizing yourself. Be curious. And when you start to be curious, you have to have at least one person in your life that you trust,
Right.
trust with your vulnerability, trust with what you're going to say, to have them speak truth to you. And sometimes the truth will be like, you're absolutely wrong with how you're looking at it. You're not a piece of shit. You're actually a pretty magnificent human being. Or, well, take a look at this. You made up this story here. You believed that story to be true, and then you live that out. And then you can look at that like, oh, man, I did. Like having somebody that can put a mirror up, and the mirror could be like, help you see where, oh my gosh, I did make up that story, or it wasn't even true, or I was in shame, or I was really self-critical. Just because you're wherever you're at, if you want to be in a different place, unless you're honest with where you're at, you'll never move out of it. And that's why I say the unconscious beliefs that run, if they stay unconscious, they're going to continue to keep driving the car.
Right.
So, and that's my whole point for me with my realization that I saw the thread go all the way back and I saw where I was now. There was a couple things that happened to me. One is it was, the feeling of when I said it's an honor to be your wife and I'm okay with the light shining on you. I said to you, listen, I know the light's going to shine on both of us because when you grow, I grow, but that was important to be said because of that belief that ran there. So it's no longer there. I'm not just that. It's actually an honor to be your wife.
It was embracing that.
Yes. And in
that part of your role in life.
Yeah. And in all of that, the ability to see it all the way through no longer is unconscious, no longer runs anything. I didn't have to do anything aggressive with cutting the belief and shit. I saw it. And then I saw the growth in myself to be able to see there's a whole nother trueness of who I am coming forward right now. And that part of who I am right now is like, yes, I want to stand next to you as your wife in whatever we do.
All right.
And you're down with that. So
I'm good with that.
We're good.
No arguments from me.
Yeah. So there you go. That was my last week.
Do you know what I noticed?
Ooh, I don't. So I want to hear it.
This was like 20 minutes ago. I couldn't wait to say it.
Okay.
You don't have your wedding ring on.
I know. The whole time we're on here, I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot to put my wedding ring on. The whole time we've been talking, I wanted to like cover my hand. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't have my ring on.
So not committed.
So is everything I said.
You know how I noticed? Because I felt like I don't have my wedding ring on either.
Okay, good. Oh, so you call me out at
Totally.
first. And you didn't even have yours on.
Yep.
We're right in sync.
Yep. Which is unusual.
For both of us.
Especially in this thing.
Yeah.
Because you set it all up. You did,
I did.
You picked out my outfit.
I did not pick out your outfit. But so here's it's funny. Like this is a real thing that has happened. Sometimes we don't wear our wedding rings and people are like, I love our wedding ring. It's a symbol of our marriage. You and I are like, it's always there, whether we have it on or not. There was reference years and years ago about not having a wedding ring on. Somebody saying something like, I always have to wear mine because of what it means and connected. And I'm like, it does mean all those things to me.
I just forgot.
I did too. I forgot too. I did.
Yeah, I usually take it off like if I'm cutting chicken or something.
Yes. I
Cut chicken.
yes. All right. Well, so we're still good then.
We're
right?
still here. Yeah. I bet our wedding rings are together.
I bet they are in the kitchen.
Yeah, probably.
Well, Bruce, it's an honor to be your wife. I love you.
The honor is mine. And yours. I love you too.